Hey guys, hopefully you can see me and hear me all right. This is the second time I've tried to video this. The last one, it turned out I did the homepage. The homepage was being recorded, but yeah, you could hear everything, so I've had to do it again. But anyway, this is the breakdown. Also, just before I start, we are hyperlapsing this video, so if you do want to watch it on my Instagram and watch it kind of quickly or with no speech or whatever, then go for it. But yeah, let's jump in. It's my breakdown of Euro USD, what I took this morning while in bed. I took 3% within 4 hours. That's just over 4K in 4 hours before I've even got up. So this is basically what I've seen. So let's jump straight in. This is Euro USD. Let's go to the daily first. So yes, daily overall, we are selling on the daily overall, but we're currently in a buy. We're in a buy bias for daily. But yes, I did sell 3% on EU, and I'll show you why. So this is the daily. We'll zoom in. Also, hopefully I'm looking at having a better, I'm buying a camera soon, so the quality should be a bit better, and maybe the mic quality might be a bit better. So yeah, get some better quality videos for you guys. But anyway, jump in. So yes. So we're not, those of you who follow my Instagram and you know, but also my other YouTube videos, I look for like a discount price, which is this area, the top, the kind of, so it's retraced past the 50%. A lot of people call it the premium. I don't think it is. I think it's discount because obviously you're doing it at a better price if you like. So it should be classed as the discount. But anyway, that's just me. So this is the daily. Yes, we're buying, but what I noticed was we keep leaving behind quite a bit of an imbalance. An imbalance is these sections which have not been penetrated by any wicks. And obviously, the latest imbalance we've got is this. So I was interested in that. So I dropped down to the 1 hour. So overall, in the back of my head, we're still buying into a sell zone. But if I see an opportunity to sell, I'm selling. So we'll drop down to the hourly and we'll go big screen. Right. So let's get rid of that as well. We'll show you that in a minute. So yeah, this line is the imbalance. I'll do it a bit smaller so it's a bit clearer for you guys. Right, that's imbalance. So my overall, I wanted to kind of come out and take some of this imbalance out, but it might take a week or two to do that before we start moving to the upside again. So for now, I thought I'd just take some profit of where price actually is. And as you can see, but I've just realised I'm big on the screen for some reason, so I'm going to shrink myself. Nobody wants to see that much of me. Right. I did actually have an entry last week, I believe it was, here. And those of you who do follow me on Instagram know that I like to see a sweep, and a sweep is the up before the down. And I just instantly assumed this was the sweep, even though it didn't take this low out, but it did take this low, and that was the one that pushed the upside. So I classed that as a sweep. I did get in. It did take me out eventually. No problem. Take 1% off me all day long if you want. I will get it back. I'm confident in I will get the money back and I will make more percent than I lose. I'm confident with that. So that being said, once that trade lost, I looked into it and I've been waiting ages. So I seen that I was actually part of liquidity, which I hate being part of it. I like to take it out, but for this time I was part of it, so it's tough shit to me. So that is a liquidity trend line, and obviously below we've got all this liquidity trend line as well. We've got one touch buys, retail buy, retail buy, retail buy, retail buy. There is so much money underneath this. So hence why I'm still expecting it to shoot down at some point pretty soon, hopefully. but I'm not in anymore at the minute. I don't know if I'm going to trade the rest of the week. There's no need to, so why rush it? But yeah, so I lost that trade. That being said, I waited to see what price did. Now this bit here is interesting because we tapped off this trend line a slight bit, a small amount, and then we bought through it, which to me, obviously you've got to let it see what happened. That always looks like a sweep to me. If it's bought through a trend line, I class that as a sweep. But it's what happened next what was more interesting. So as you can see, if we zoom in a bit, so for all the retailers, this looks like we broke the trend line, then we bounced off the trend line, and then we got a blue candle. We got a 1 hour blue candle. So they start buying, and their stop losses are here. And then lo and behold, we took them straight out. I say we because I class myself as a bank. But no, seriously, yeah. So we broke the low. This was the low that took all the liquidity, the trend line liquidity. We broke that low. So that sweep, that has been the sweep. We've swept that and we've took it out. So the other thing that I'd noticed as well, now you could obviously let it retrace and then sell and you would have took a bit of profit. But if you know what inducement is, then you'd have probably waited. So inducement is basically creating a fake level of where we set you're basically setting money up to take. You're setting retail money up to take and early smart money. So that being said, I didn't enter just yet. I classed that as liquidity and I waited. So the other thing as well is if you do follow me on Instagram, you notice that I wait for the 50%. And yes, this did tap into the 50% and it did tap into this order block here. But I wasn't fine in getting in just yet because I wanted to see that being inducement. And if it shut off without me, I've not lost anything, I've just not gained anything. So then we started to approach the previous level and we went past it, which meant that this was the low. And we obviously, as you know, we're already in the discount area anyway. So let's mark, this was the last blue candle. That's the buy before the push down. And obviously it's quite a big supply area. So let's drop down. I hope this is recording the right page as well because see, I don't know what I'm suddenly missing a bit now. Oh, here we go. Am I back on? Oh, this is doing my head in. Just going to pause it there for 2 seconds. Right, sorry about that, guys. Someone was at the door, so I had to just shoot down quickly. I'm not on screen yet. I don't know what is wrong with this. But yeah, all right. We'll see if I might pop up on screen. We'll see. So hopefully this is still recording. So yeah, we're in the discount area there. And this is the hourly block. So let's go to the 10-minute. Right. So my first entry was about 5:15. And the reason I entered there, like I said, I was in bed, I was on MetaTrader, and I covered where I wanted with my stop loss, so I was fine with that. And we liquidated this high. So I entered on the 10-minute, dropped it in, 20 pip stop loss and a 30 pip TP. Nice and easy. I'd normally go for higher. Oh, my voice is going, but yeah, I'd normally go for higher RR, but I just wanted it in and out jobby today. So yeah, that was the first entry. And the second entry, so sorry, just going back to the first one, I covered this whole area. This was like the buy to sell, so I covered that whole area. I still don't know why I've not come up on camera just yet. See if I can get it to come up. No. Yeah, it's very strange. But yeah, so that's the first entry. The second entry, I'll drop a line on, and I'll explain why I entered here. I was still in bed. Let's do the top of the wick as well, where it went to, and let's do the top of my stop loss. So yeah, so we're on the 10-minute. Let's drop down to the 1 minute. Obviously, I was expecting now the hourly trend line had been taken out. I was expecting to start to sink anyway. So I was dead confident in my I'm really confident in my strategy. You know, I know most of the time that it will win. Obviously, you take losses. I'm totally fine with that. But I was confident, so I put a second entry on, and it paid off. So if we zoom across, right, let's try and get it to the center a bit. But yeah, so this first line here, it might look a bit messy at the minute. In fact, let's get rid of the 50% retracement a bit neater. Let's get rid of the sweep line. We know that's the sweep. So we bought through it and we sold. So I entered the second one based on, so this area is a buy to sell. This was a buy to sell as well. And they all happened just before the break, the major break. And obviously this would be a perfect opportunity to get in. But I didn't get in there. Obviously we got in later on and it's totally fine. So I entered, I think it was about 50% of this wick. So this was the buy to sell. We took the high in the middle, as I've just showed you, the inducement. I entered around the 50% of this wick there because that was actually a buy to sell. That wick took out this mini trend line. This is the 1 minute, but if you go on like a 15-second, that would be a trend line there. So that was a buy to sell there. So we entered the middle of the wick. So, and it actually it actually had a bit of drawdown while I was in the trade, and it went up to this red line, which was in nearly the 50% of this buy to sell. But then it started to sink, and my stop loss was all the way up here. I'd covered this little bit of imbalance as well. So yeah, that is mainly, well, it's not mainly, that is why I entered. But yeah, it's hopefully that's clear for you guys. Such a shame that I've disappeared off screen. I have no idea why. But like I said, I'm recording on the hyperlapse behind me. So yeah, so you can see all this. But yeah, and there's my entries. So a 1.5 R, and I risk 1% on both. I normally risk 0.5, but I just felt like 1% risk. You know, go big or go home, so they say. This one, I banked 1.5% at 8 o'clock. This one ran along all the way to about 10 past 20 past 10 and banked me another 1.5%. So I finished 3% up, 4 hours work before I'm out of bed. So yeah, hopefully you guys can adapt this to your own trading, or I mean, you can pretty much do the strategy if you want. I'm not hiding it. It's more how you control your emotions and that, and obviously the bigger picture, the higher time frame analysis. But yeah, my view on EU is obviously now we've started to show weakness. We've took liquidity there. We've tapped in there. It might shoot through. Don't get me wrong, because on the daily, I think was it the daily or the weekly, there might be a double top, and we're still not really in the discount price at all just yet. So it is technically still buys, but if you can get a few sell trades in between, then why not? And obviously we've got a lot of imbalance here. We've got a sell to buy candle there, perfect setup, and there's this trend line that needs taken out. So ideally I'd like this to see this drop and take this trend line before I was buying, but it might just carry on going up. But hence why I might stay out for the rest of the week. There's no need to get in. But yeah, hopefully this has helped you guys out. I'm a funded FTMO trader. I've been full-time trading for a year and 4 months now. So drop me a follow on Instagram as well if you can. It's at the Rule of 7. I do post analysis sometimes on there, mainly mainly my videos are on YouTube, but I do show like a day-to-day kind of trading and normal life stories on there as well. So yeah, sweet. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget the hyperlapse is going on YouTube, on Instagram today. Right, sweet.